Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Good afternoon. So let me introduce myself. I'm Allan Yuen, the director of CITE. Now, the Center for Information Technology and Education, CITE, was established within the Faculty of Education in 1998 to provide intellectual leadership and supports to promote the use of information and communication technology for quality education. Now, the conference you're attending we call CITERS. CITERS stands for CITE Research Symposium. It's organized by CITE annually, which aims to provide a platform for the exchange of outcomes from research and development work to advance our knowledge and understanding related to theory and practice of technology-supported learning and teaching. Now, this year our theme is on empowering communities, innovating learning, learning to innovate. May I now invite our Dean of Faculty of Education, HKU, to deliver his welcoming address to us. Professor Andrews, please.
Well, thank you, Allan, for those words of welcome and those words of introduction to the CITE Research Symposium 2017. It's my very great pleasure on behalf of the Faculty of Education and the University of Hong Kong to do the formal welcome. I always find it a bit odd that we have opening ceremonies after things have started, but it seems to be a tradition of some sort. But anyway, a belated welcome to all of you to this year's CITE Symposium. I'm looking at the screen and I can see the faces of three very, very esteemed colleagues up there who are part of the CITERS program this year. One, a current colleague, Professor David Carlos, one, a former colleague, Professor Bob Fox, and one, a visiting esteemed professor who we seem to be working so hard that he might as well be one of our colleagues, Professor Harvey Goldstein. So welcome to all of them. Welcome back in the case of Bob Fox and Professor Goldstein. I'm sure that you're going to gain a great deal from your interaction with them. I know David has already done his plenary, and Professor Goldstein and Professor Fox will do so later on in the programme. Allan has already given you an introduction to CITE. CITE has the motto on its website, empowering communities, transforming learning, and the theme for this symposium this year has kind of transformed and extended that motto. So we've now got a theme for the conference, which is empowering communities, innovating learning and learning to innovate. I do find, being a language person, I find the use of innovate as a transitive verb extremely disturbing and very odd. But anyway, as CITE is all about innovation, I guess we could let them get away with a bit of linguistic innovation. But anyway, empowering communities, innovating learning, and learning to innovate. These CITE symposium are always very, very stimulating events, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this one as much as you've probably enjoyed others if you've participated. This particular theme, empowering communities, innovating learning, learning to innovate, I mean, it's very much focusing on what we see 21st century learners needing, what we see 21st century learning being all about. I'm sure it resonates with all of us who are involved in the processes of planning learning experiences for our students. I mean, certainly for us in the university as a whole, and very much within the faculty, it's something that has an enormous resonance. Over the past 3 years or so, and colleagues who are in the faculty will know this very well, over the past 3 years or so, we have been wrestling with the reform of one of our flagship programs, the Postgraduate Diploma in Education. And we set out from the start in undertaking that reform to address the challenges of preparing 21st century teachers who would in turn be capable of nurturing 21st century learners, helping them to develop the capabilities and the skills that will enable them to thrive in an inherently uncertain and ever-changing world. And one of the things we did at the absolute outset of that whole process was to try and identify what we felt constituted the distinctive professional identity of the 21st century teacher. And we highlighted 8 characteristics when we did that. First, a passionate and caring facilitator. Then, a forward-thinking, ethical and reflective practitioner. Then, an adaptive, creative, critical thinker and leader. The fourth of the 8 characteristics was an innovative teacher. Then, a contextually sensitive, socially engaged and policy-aware educator. A professional teacher, a proactive and engaged collaborator, and a lifelong learner. And of course, technology permeates and infuses all those expectations, as well as the learning and teaching that takes place in the programme as we have now developed it. The innovative teacher, and this is the way we have tried to set it out in the programme learning outcomes for the PGDE, and the way in which we try and ensure the students on the programme develop. The innovative teacher needs to be not only confident in her disciplinary and pedagogical knowledge, but also comfortable with flexible interdisciplinary knowledges in a technology-infused, information-rich world. And in order to plan and implement contextually responsive and innovative teaching to construct effective learning experiences, the teacher needs to be able to explore and apply appropriate assessment and evaluation strategies that are evidence-based, with much of that evidence being in itself provided by technology. So technology infuses every aspect of that reform, every aspect of what we're trying to plan in terms of preparing 21st century teachers, and everything about how we conceptualise the sort of learning that is going to take place in the classrooms of the 21st century. Now, our experiences with the PGD and the accompanying challenges, I'm sure they resonate with experiences and challenges that you're facing in your own context. Certainly, when I look at the programme for CITERS 2017, I can see many points of contact, many ways in which the programme addresses the sorts of theme that we are very much focused on and have been focused on in our PGD reform. So I'm sure you're going to have a very, very thought-provoking and relevant couple of days with us exploring these ideas. Let me conclude my opening remarks again by welcoming you to the CITERS 2017 event. I'm sure you've already had a very engaging and enriching morning. I'm sure David's plenary was great. I'm afraid I wasn't able to get there. But let me wish you all a very, very fruitful Friday afternoon and also Saturday morning with us. And we look forward to welcoming you back for CITERS 2018. Okay, thank you very much then.
Thank you very much, Professor Steve Andrews. I would like to take this opportunity to say a few words to thank a number of people. CITERS 2017 is organized in collaboration with the Center for Enhancement of Teaching and Learning, the HKU Libraries, HKU Tele, and Hong Kong CITE. My sincere thanks to all the co-organizers for their support, in particular our sponsor, Educational Technology Connection, ETC. So it's outside, so then you can find a lot of things over there. We would like to thank all the presenters and keynote speakers. Professor Steve Andrews already mentioned, Professor David Carlos, Professor Harvey Goldstein, and Professor Bob Fox. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to members of the organizing committee, in particular the chairman of the organizing committee, Dr. Timothy Hu, over there, and also all the other members, program committee and administrative as well as technical staff of CITE. Without their efforts, the symposium would not have been conceivable. Finally, I offer my warmest welcome to you all. I hope you would enjoy the CITERS 2017. Now, may I now invite Professor Nancy Law to start the second keynote address, introduce, right? Anyway, so then introduce, and in particular the speaker.